Damien Bendall has launched a hammer attack on another inmate inside of HMP Frankland. And that's what I'm talking about in this episode. And the reason why I'm talking about this is one of my Patreon members has actually asked us in my Discord group. And they said, have you got any information on this? And when I've looked up on it, the only information that I have is obviously what's in the papers. But a lot of you that don't read the papers will not know anything about this offence. So it's saying that they're not naming anybody in the paper actually who done it or who has been attacked. And this happened on Friday, the 10th of May, inside HMP Frankland prison in one of the workshops. And it is saying that it was Damian Bendle who committed the hammer attack. And I'll just tell you a little bit about who Damian Bendle is, if you don't already know. I've done a video on him previously. If you look back through my previous videos and go to the Life Without Parole section in the playlist section, Damien Bendle is serving life without parole for murdering 4 people. He murdered his ex-girlfriend, our 2 kids, and our kid's friend. So he's murdered 3 children as well as his ex-wife. And for that, he was serving life without parole. But in that attack as well, he's used a hammer. So this is a similar attack that's allegedly or has happened inside of HMP Frankland. Now, a lot of you will be thinking, well, how can somebody use a hammer inside of a high security prison? And that's what I'm going to be telling you a little bit about as well. So in Frankland prison, because I've been in there myself, you've got workshops. So you've got the likes of, you've got a wood workshop, which you'll be using hammers inside of there. And you've also got a brick shop, which learns you how to lay bricks. It's a bricklaying shop, but I can't imagine someone who's serving life without parole will be inside of that workshop. I've done a course myself inside of that workshop, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was some sort of certificate NVQ for laying bricks. And in that workshop, you've got spades, you've got little brick hammers. So these are the type of workshops where you can get your hands on these type of tools. So you can imagine it is quite a risky and volatile situation to have these type of inmates. You wouldn't think someone out here, you normal people that have never been to prison, sitting out here will be gobsmacked when you're listening to me telling you these workshops actually operate inside of high security prisons where you've got access to spades, trowels, which are quite sharp. You've got brick hammers. In the wood workshop, you can imagine what type of instruments you've got inside of a wood workshop, screwdrivers. There was a lot of weapons flying around the prison when I was actually in there, where they were actually making them inside of the wood workshop. They were getting little spikes. I don't know exactly where they were getting them from. They were getting bits of metal about 10 inches long and sharpening them up inside the woodwork shop. And I actually seen quite a few people getting stuck with these instruments. One assault that I actually seen was when someone got stabbed in the neck with one of these spikes. And it happened that quick, he didn't even know what had happened. But getting back to this story, Damien Bendle, who is an absolute monster, has attacked somebody else, and the other person that he's attacked will probably be another high-profile, convicted S-offender like him. Because if you don't know the case, one of the victims that he murdered, he actually S-assaulted before he murdered them, which was absolutely horrendous. And these are the type of inmates that are all mixing in together, and they're coming into contact with weapons like this inside of the workshops. So you can only imagine that it's only a matter of time before incidents like this occur all the time. And like I've mentioned previously, Frankland Prison has now become known as Monster Mansion in the local papers. Amongst people that have been to prison and they know all about prison, and people that watch or interested in prison documentaries on channels like myself, we'll all know that HMP Wakefield is the original Monster Mansion because it predominantly houses ex-offenders and it is full of, as I mentioned, monsters. Monster Mansion, as it says in the title. But Frankland Prison is now housing the most depraved serial killers and ex-offenders the country has ever seen. You've got the likes of Ian Huntley, Levi Belfield, obviously Bendall, who I've just mentioned. You had the Yorkshire Ripper in there. And you've got the likes of Wayne Couzens. And all of these monsters are getting housed together on the same wings. So you can only imagine the conversations they must be having amongst themselves. But again, some of the, or most of the high profile incidents, like when somebody was disemboweled, I've mentioned this previously on videos, this happened in HMP Frankland, and this happened on the ex-offender wings, the VP wings, the bacon wings, whichever you want to refer to them as. Because this is where most of the severe and serious incidents are happening. But again, you've got the most severe and depraved individuals living amongst each other, so you can only imagine the thoughts that they must be having on a daily basis about what they'll be wanting to do to each other. And if somebody who's serving life without parole could be getting abused themselves off another inmate, someone that's taunting them, giving them grief, and they're probably thinking they've got nothing to lose, and these are the type of incidents that are occurring. But I just thought I would bring that to the attention because one of my subscribers mentioned it to me on my Patreon channel, so I thought I would cover it for him. So thanks for giving us the heads up. And when I've looked into it, it is saying that the person or the victim or the other ex-offender that has been attacked, we don't know exactly who it is yet, but I'm assuming obviously if they're on the same wings, it's more than likely going to be someone that's in for that type of offence as well. And it's saying that he might not pull through. That's how serious the incident is. So what I'll do is, when it becomes more public knowledge and they release more information about it, I will keep you all updated on what is actually happening with this case, because it hasn't been in the mainstream media, as in the news. It hasn't been reported in the local news or the Northeast news up here. It's only been reported in a select few papers. And again, I've got the news app on my laptop here, which gives us all the latest prison news. So I will be keeping you updated. But again, thank you all for watching. And if you are still watching at this point, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. But go and check out my new website, ruthlessfitness.shop, Behind the Bars Marketplace. And I've got another website, which is Lux Wall Art. So at the minute, I'm running 3 different websites. But I will put the links in the descriptions if you want to go and have a look at them. And if you do like me memorabilia, what's on there, go and give it a purchase if you do like it. But again, thank you all for watching. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.